Hello guys and welcome back to my Thrones of Britannia playthrough series as me playing as West Sussex, or West Seaxe, and all the other kind of different pronunciations for that group. Yeah, so there's been a change. Obviously last session I was kind of a bit short, something came up where I had to go out, so now I'm back to actually do some more playthrough, and one of the big changes which has happened since that time and recording now is there's been a big update. So an update came out a couple of days ago, and pretty much it changes quite a lot substantially. It's a very big update. It was a couple of gigs big. I'll put a link in the description below if anyone wants to check it out of all the changes that they did. And I'm very happy with the developers' creative assembly, because a lot of companies release a game but then don't update it for 3 or 4 months. And when companies decide to go, you know what, I'm going to update this game, I'm going to change quite a lot, it's absolutely fantastic. But one of the major problems is with that, especially with some of the changes, it can impact on the games that you're playing at the time. Some don't happen until you restart the game, but what's pretty much happened here is, and I actually had to double check this before I came in, and I saw this and I was like, oh, this is a bit crap. So at the end of last session, and you can go check that if you want yourself, I had a lot of food and a lot of income coming in. That's completely changed. So there's been quite a lot of changes to how base morale works, how public order works. Well, not how public order, but the base stats of them. One instance is they've changed the, and you'll see it in the future, when you take a settlement, instead of getting a minus 10 public order for taking that settlement, it's actually now -5 by default, which is better. So it means you should have less public order penalties, but the penalties for taxation has changed as well. So there's now, if I actually have a look in here, where we got economic, the base level tax, so this has changed. So I think it was 0 before, so you had no tax effect at all. So because it's there, you automatically now get a -4 on happiness for taxation effect, and you can get, I think you get down to -1, but you'll always have a negative effect for taxation. And food production also goes down by the looks of it, which is a bit interesting. So the more tax you get, more food production, but you get less, but more, again, public order. You get less public order, and then the opposite in the other regards. But yeah, so my food production has gone down by at least 280, and my income I get per turn has gone down by at least 3,000 coin. So it's a big fundamental shift in difference there, and it leaves me in a bit of a difficulty because I wasn't sure if it was going to impact straight away in the game when I loaded it up, or it was going to have to, it'll impact update when the turn ends, but it seems like it's updated straight away. The problem is now I've got to try and figure out what to do in aspects. I've got to get rid of someone. Because I've done a lot of base stats to some of the buildings, what they require, what they give. Apparently the later buildings are now more expensive to build and maintain. So now I have to go about trying to think, I need to get a little bit more food because it's creating some unhappiness, which we don't want. So I've got 3 armies in total, I feel. Is it 3? Yes. So what I'm going to do is remove one of these guys, I feel, down. I'm just checking to see how much food does these guys, 150. What do these ones, is it 10? Is the food cost 10 for these guys? Because that would help. I'll get rid of this guy first. I want to see what the production is. Yes, it's 10. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to keep this one for now. We'll see what happens next turn. If it goes down again, I'll have to get rid of a few more guys. And I'm just waiting for a couple more buildings to update. I did lose, obviously, some buildings, so I need to reclaim these back, which is hampering my food production a little bit, but there's nothing changed between the end of last session and now that really warrants the massive deficit, which is always a bit of an issue. So there we go. So we haven't got much. The good thing is we haven't got much public order issue now, which I'm not going to complain about. So this one we took recently is actually only -1 instead of the minus where it was beforehand. We've got a new governor as well. So Somerset, I think someone died, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So Frick has died, so we need to get a new governor. But what I want to do first is loyalty, because that's been changed in the little essence. But I do believe it's because of my estates as well. So let me have a look here. Yeah, I own quite a lot. Someone died and then many estates by the looks of it. Let me get a governor first. So who we got here? Who can we have as governor? Let's go into the governor's tab. these are all my governors I've got now. And I've got a champion rider. I've got a spearman. I've got an archer. Well, I'm going to go for Ethelstan. He seems like a good guy. He can go and be governor of Somerset. So that means the loyalty issue is still a problem. But if I give him a... where is he? Governorship, it should increase it. So there is people still a bit annoyed at me because I hold so many titles or estates. Well, let's see if we can increase some more. Who's got low influence? Who's got low influence? Oh god, these guys are all good influence, which is never a good sign. Let's give this guy an extra area. So we'll give you that one. Now, the way estates work as well has been changed, where the less estates you hold, so the ones that you don't hold, are minus 100 gold per turn. So each estate that you own, if you do not own it directly, is less. You lose 100 gold per turn. So that's the reason why my gold, I think, has gone down quite a lot. I think it falls under other expenses, which is going to be quite interesting to see how this works out. So that now done, which is fantastic. So we've managed to fix the loyalty issue in those ones. I'm going to actually do the priest and get his loyalty up a bit higher. And then we've also got another governor down here, Ulfwin, whose loyalty is quite decent. His governorship's good, zeal. But I want to increase food production for this guy. So it gets me up to 9, so it's another +5, which is good. So it kind of benefits me in a way which is going to be useful. Now, we are at war with quite a lot of different factions, and this is the issue I was going to have because I wasn't sure where to go about actually doing this. We've got Gwynedd up here, which is expanding quite rapidly and very, very large. And we have obviously these border issues down here. Now, I was wanting to actually declare peace with a couple of them because it will help. I think I had peace with these guys. And obviously we're not at war with Northumbria up here, and we're not at war with these guys. So it means I can focus my effort pushing this way and try and maybe push further north. It's just my concern is that these guys are going to march down this way and start taking lands. And there's this army here as well, this one stack army, which is just sitting there. Now I'm tempted to try and think which is the best way to go about stopping him from moving. And I could move my army down this way and hit him from here to stop him actually moving across. But because I don't, well, last thing I want him doing is running down and start taking a lot of these settlements off me from this direction. So if I go to here, I feel like I'm in a better position. So if he does decide to move, I can actually get to him. So we'll go down to here. He won't get any penalty because we're in a rebel settlement anyway, which is fine. And I'm going to move this guy down to here, which is good. And then we're going to sit and defend because there's another army just right there, which I want to see what he's going to do. He's only got 12 units there, and he is in defensive mode. And I probably am wanting to move this army eventually up the coastal area, if possible, to be able to help out. Because I feel like it's always a waste having an army that you're not using. But for now, I feel like it's better just to... Because there's a lot of marshland down on this side of the UK, or Britain, shall I say, for instance. You can see here a lot of bogland, or wetlands, or marshland, or whatever you want to define it as. So I'm just going to leave him there. And I haven't really got... I have got money to spend, which is nice. Although I'm very, very conscious now of what's spending. I'm just double checking what upgrades I was having in a lot of these settlements, because the last thing I want to happen is that some of these upgrades kind of impact on food production, which there is a couple that will. I mean, this is actually increased food production next turn, which is nice. But I feel like I probably want to increase a lot of these up to level 4 now. This is increasing to level 4, which is good. This will increase that. Actually, get that leveled up. Level 3. Yeah, I think we're doing well. Let's get some more. Yeah, we'll increase that up as well to give us some more money or income per turn. We're just going to have to see what happens. That's going to be the major thing right now. What's going to happen next turn? Interesting. This guy backed off. He's gone straight into his settlement and decided to hunker down, which is fantastic for me. It means that I can go and focus on him and take his settlement. This guy has also decided to hunker down near his settlement, which is good because it means I can potentially move one of my armies around, which I'm going to actually do now. This one's going to move further this way. I think I could probably get to this settlement this turn and heal up. Yes, there we go. And then moving through the bogland and marshland. So what I need to do is now I can put this settlement under siege straight away, which would be good. Would it be a good idea to do that? Let's move up to here for now. Across the river. Because I'm just looking at my units right now. I've got a couple of units that could do with some resting. My supplies is decent. It's not too bad. It's increasing by 2 every turn. And I think it's just due to this settlement here. Your supplies goes up based on where you are. So because I only have 1 settlement here, that's increasing the food by 2. Supply by 2. But it probably will be a good idea to put this under siege so I can try and deal with it. So let's just do that. Okay. So he's got quite a lot of units, but that's fine. We want at least... I think that'll do. I really want catapults. That would be very useful to have. But siege towers will work in my favour. Actually, how long is it going to be until... So 2 turns... Oh, 4 turns until it runs out of food and starts having attrition, and 6 until it surrenders. And I'm going to have to wait 2 turns anyway before I can attack it. And I'm tempted to attack him, but I think the garrison helps out in this case here. So I'd rather have him attack me if possible. So I'm going to wait here, just dig in on this settlement. Which will be useful for now. We've got an upgrade, so we've got a governor. Let's get his loyalty up. I don't like low loyalty is not a thing for me. And let's have a look around what we can increase some more here. So we do have some production coming out, which is nice. I just want to get all these low-level buildings finished off and have a round system. Because there's nothing worse than having buildings a bit lower. So that's leveling up to level 3, which is good. And we've got still income per turn, which is nice. Okay. Faction destroyed, which is nice to see. One thing that was quite interesting and which is very beneficial to me, this army decided to go and try and take this settlement, Huntingdon, and failed. Which is great for me. It means that I have got no opposition now to sieging this settlement. Which is, again, fantastic in my view. Because it means that if he needs to run back and replenish to get in his own territories before he can start replenishing. And I'm going to block the way with having an army that's going to siege him. And we're just going to move my armies now further this way. So we're going to go to over here. Now we're in good position to be able to do this. So I'm going to put this settlement under siege. Now he's got quite a lot of units in this settlement. So let's get the good old 6. It's going to take a few turns to finish that off, but the idea is spend time constructing equipment. This army comes and then supports. We should be able to have an auto-resolve in this battle. And then Northampton, I'll go into battle and actually take that one itself, because there is a few more units here to actually deal with. And then just to spend a bit more money, let's have a little look round. So there is a few I can increase on. What we got here? Because buildings are a lot more expensive, which I mentioned earlier, which makes it more difficult when you start getting to later game stuff, because you need to think about which buildings you want to spend time improving. Because otherwise you end up in a situation of that, yeah, you struggle. If you lose those particular buildings, it's a bit of a problem. Now what we got down here, so it's not really happy at the moment, but we do have the church upgrading, which will increase some happiness. It probably would be nice to have a better garrison, although we do have the garrison there. I'm just looking at in terms of the armor, which is this, the forge, because it means that I can recruit units in certain areas and get a bonus. So it might be good just to increase this out to have the forge, which would minus my income per turn, but it gives me the opportunity to improve units, and it also increases industry, which this will benefit off. What else? We've got 2 farms. I got a market. This also increases market. I feel this one will be alright, you know. Get the industry in there, we'll increase this off, and it means that, again, I can increase the armour of these units, like these ones in this settlement. Because the problem is, if you have one on the opposite side of your empire, your kingdom or whatever, I need to get these units there to be able to upgrade them. It's not a kingdom-wide upgrade, it's a province-wide upgrade. So you have to have the units in the province to upgrade them. And if I have them spread out, it's a bit easier. So what we got? Oh, we've had someone develop. Warrior Society. Society that holds... Oh, does that mean we've actually unlocked... Oh yeah, we've just finished our lovely upgrade there, which is nice. We do have an army moving down this way, which could become a bit of a problem. It's these guys here, which for some reason it's the only army the settlements they own. Let me just double check here. And yet they're on... Oh, they own a couple, and they're marching into my territory, which I don't like. So let's see if we can have a peace with them, because I don't want them marching into my territory because I've got no army down there at the moment. There we go. So we've got a peace treaty with them. So it means they should back off now from my territory, because I've got no armies. They'll be able to march through and just take all these little settlements, and I won't have anyone to oppose them because this army here is there sieging this settlement right now. Now we are at a bit of a food shortage again, which is never nice, but we've actually fully upgraded this, and this is one of the reasons the food upkeep is +1 food keep for every single unit. Ouch. So let's see what we can do to improve that a little bit here, which is probably not much we can do. This is all military. We could get reduced tariff, which would increase trade. Okay, construction for villagers. I'm just having a look here. What do these benefits? That gives the mill upgrade. That gives road development. Where's food production? This one's food. So it's fertile lands. So I think this one's, again, the agriculture one will help. So the mill, I think, will increase production of food. So we'll get that. Obviously, this settlement now is in a bit of a dire state. So we need to actually think of something quickly to do. This general is actually in good position. So let us increase his command. So now he should be 1 more higher, which is good. And then we've got Governor, who's actually new. So it would probably be a good idea to get his... I mean, he doesn't actually have anything right now, does he? But if we get Forager, knock that down a little bit. And if I could take this settlement, that would be very, very helpful. So let's move this army. I want to be on the road, but for some reason it's not letting me really do that. So let's just run through. So this army hasn't moved, which is good. And then we're just going to jump into battle and take this settlement. Because we do have the added advantage. I don't know why it's actually shown as negative. So the balance is that it's 50-50 basically. It's probably because he's got a few units in there. And he has all these spearmen. But they're not going to be too much. I mean, I have a lot of... I've got Thanes. Mailed Axe Warriors. I do have a couple of Fried Axemen. I have a couple of Cavalry. I've got a lot of Archer units. I feel once I get in, I'll be fine. It's just beforehand. So let's get in and have a bit of fun.